Good evening, listeners. You're back with Cash from Boots and Beards on the Bristol Live Show. We have been talking about stress today. We have our special guest is James, who is a therapist and nutritionist as well. James has brought his table in today, massaging table, and we have laid Nav down. Right, Nav, you comfortable?
Really? Yes, I am.
It looks like it.
Obviously you guys can't see what's happening, but tonight, inshallah, about 8 o'clock, we'll put the video up of this session on facebook.com/Boots and Beards, and you can see Nav either in action or
snoring.
Yeah, snoring.
So, James, do you want to just run through what you're going to be doing with Nav, or do you want to just start off the techniques?
Sure,
so you're doing?
Yeah, so we're just going to do a little bit of work on the face, so
Okay.
facial muscles, and a little bit of work on the head. You could work on the neck, but the neck, because there's a lot of nerves and stuff like that coming through the neck.
Well, you end up choking him?
Well, it'd be better if you had some kind of training in this kind of field, because you could do more damage than do good. So we're going to kind of focus more on the face, where it's a bit more difficult to do damage, because you're not really going to go too hard on somebody's face when you're doing massage, okay?
Okay.
So we're just starting off just above the eyebrows.
Alright.
And just at the corner of the eyebrow, kind of in towards the centre, okay? So we would just put a little bit of pressure there.
So all you're doing is actually just pressing in?
So just press it in, yeah. And we're just going to go back, okay? We just follow a line back along the skull.
So this is for people who suffer from headaches.
So this could be headaches, just stress in general. So all we're doing is basically just starting to loosen some of the facial muscles, okay?
So from the eyebrows, working back towards the hairline.
Yep. And
just putting little pressures in.
Little
not even going in circles or anything. Just
not going in
doing
circles
that.
in yet, no. And you'd maybe do that about 3 times for the person. Okay. So depending on where their stress is, some people feel certain points more than others. But this is just a good way of kind of starting it off. You can then go along the eyebrow, so just above, the same type of thing, and just going out to the side.
And with this simple technique, now, how do you feel?
I don't know, I'm just scared to fall asleep.
Why would that be?
Because I snore like a train.
So the other thing is, when you're doing this, you obviously wouldn't be doing it in a room like this. So you could, use some more kind of relaxation techniques. So have some kind of relaxing music. You could have the lights dimmed, a bit darker. You could also use a wee bit of oil or scented oils. Things like lavender can also help folk sleep better and stuff like that. So that'd be good. So we're just going along the forehead now, just doing lines, just same as before, but just taking it out further to the sides.
So basically, at the top of the head.
Forehead. Yeah.
The forehead. Yeah. I was trying to get the word out.
Yeah.
The forehead. So you're just putting your thumb, using your thumbs.
Just using the thumb. Yeah. Now in here, to just this point where we started off. So there's actually 2...
Just at the top of the nose, sort of thing, just above the eyebrows?
Yeah. So there's 2 sinuses there, and if we kind of just leave our thumbs gently on that, now somebody's really blocked up. So again, that could be stress in itself, just the fact the sinuses are pretty blocked.
That was me yesterday.
Yeah, sinus headaches and stuff.
I just want to make a point out that you're not even pressed it, you just got your thumb on it.
Yeah, so it's just a gentle pressure, and all that's doing is just helping to kind of clear the sinuses a wee bit. So can you feel what I'm doing there? So I'm just alternating the pressure a wee bit.
Okay.
So it's almost like...
It's very slight, I can't even feel it.
Yeah, it's just a very slight, and it's so you're doing it almost like a kind of pump action, if you like, and you're just trying to clear. So the sinuses are just like tiny wee holes in the skull.
Okay.
And they just allow pressure to be released so that things don't build up so much.
So could you say that this is probably better than taking medication, or is it just a technique that might help?
It might help, and I mean, obviously if you've been prescribed medication, then stick to that, but it might help alongside the medication, or it might prevent you from needing to go and get the medication in the first place.
So just press in to that top,
it's just
above the nose.
Yeah, a real gentle pressure.
Just above the eyebrows, more like at the corner there, and just slowly press in hard and then come off slowly, sort of thing like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we can go on to more kind of circular motion. So again, it's just, you don't need too much pressure, so just a kind of gentle pressure, and you're just coming around the forehead and just doing this circular action.
So I would say like a lot of your problems, your health problems, could be related to your head. Is that correct, or is it more the soles of your feet? Some people would say the soles, some people say the head. What would you say?
A bit of both, really. The feet have to put up with quite a lot of work every day. There's a lot of joints and muscles in the feet.
Okay.
And the joints can get locked up and stuff like that, and they're not moving properly. So it's a good foot massage can do wonders for lower back pain, can help stress headaches and stuff like that as well. So although you wouldn't think working on the feet, it actually does free up quite a lot of other things in the body just doing some work on the feet. Okay, so we're just doing some circular action. So we come from the forehead and we're kind of working our way down the side of the face there. So this is where...
so probably adjacent to his eyes, sort of
Yeah.
thing. That's where you do circular movements with your two first fingers, I would say, yeah?
Yeah, and just keeping that almost a kind of slow rhythm to it. So you're kind of trying to keep the pace the same. If you were trying to kind of wake somebody up a bit, then you could go a bit faster. So if they are snoring, then so you might do that maybe towards the end, just to kind of get them back in the room if you like.
Okay.
But most of the time you'll be doing that kind of fairly slow, and so you don't need particularly a lot of pressure. Now as you're coming down to just at the back of the jaw here, this is where a lot of people can find a lot of tension in the muscle. So if you work for a wee bit around that area, then you should start to feel that ease off a wee bit.
So because you said that, you mentioned that earlier in the programme, you said the jaw area can get quite tense and stuff, and that could do with the stress as well.
Yeah. So if you think of somebody when they're stressed, how their facial expression that can be, they actually tend to tighten up these muscles around the jaw.
Okay.
And that can alter the muscles in the neck. So even somebody who's going to the gym and lifting up weights, if it's too much for them, a lot of times they'll try and lift the weight almost with their neck muscles, and they tense the jaw and the neck to try and lift it. So that's like more a physical stress that they're causing.
Right. Okay.
But that can also cause things like headache. It can even cause lower back pain and stuff like that.
So it could actually cause more damage than actually doing your good.
Yeah.
So your jaws could be linked to your lower back?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, because what happens is you tense up these muscles here and the jaw, and that kind of links back to the neck, and there's some of the nerves that come out, and they basically make the lat muscle in the back work.
Okay.
So if there's something going on in the neck where that nerve is being pressed on, the lats could go into a spasm, or so you actually get the lats actually go all the way down into the kind of sacrum coccyx area.
Okay, so you've got that laid down on the table facing up the way. So can you do these techniques when people are sitting up, or would it be best lying them down and doing it the way you're doing it?
Yeah, I think for this it's probably best to lie down, just because the person's in a much more relaxed position.
Okay.
And ideally, if someone's stressed, the more relaxed or relaxation techniques you can use, then the better. So it's usually better to have them lying on their back.
So what we've done so far is on the forehead we've been doing some just pressing down with the thumb on the forehead at certain points, and just doing circular movements. And now James has moved down into the jaw area. He's now closer to the mouth, where he's doing circular movements, and his beard is feeling very tingly. Probably.
Beard's in the way.
Okay, so that's just with regards to stress and kids. We had a young child on before saying that obviously with them doing a project and stuff, they could get stressed out, but for them to deal with it, they need to manage their time properly and how to research and then do the project.
Sure.
So is time management important, and delegation and trying to organise your day or your life very important in dealing with stress as well?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, since I was late.
Did you work for you? Sorry.
Yeah. time management's obviously a big thing because, you know, a lot of us live by a clock.
Yeah.
And that in itself can be quite stressful. And a lot of times we try and fit too many things into such a short space and time. So sometimes it might be better to actually look and be a bit more realistic with how best to use your time and kind of say, okay, I can't actually do that many things today.
So sometimes saying no is not a bad thing.
Yeah, yeah. And actually looking and thinking, actually, it maybe takes 2 hours to do something rather than 1 hour. So bear that in mind and kind of don't try and take something else on before you've finished the first task, if you like.
No, that's true. So if you just joined us, listeners, on the Muslim Life Show, as always, the phone number to call in is 375-3434. We're talking about stress today, so if you have any questions, then please call in. Just now, James is putting Nav to sleep, it looks like. But not at the moment, he has been using his fingers and thumbs all around Nav's face, just doing circular motions, pressing in at certain points. We are videoing this at the moment, so if anyone does want to see it, then they can log on to Facebook as normal and go on the Boots and Beards page. We will have it all loaded up, probably later on today. And you can see the different techniques that James is using on Nav and how to, what was a technique and how to de-stress yourself.
Yeah, so this is just, because it's taking away the stress that's in those muscles, those facial muscles. So again, as I say, like, because folk, when they're getting stressed, it can show up in facial expression. It's because they're using the facial muscles to express that stress, if you like. So the muscles themselves can get quite tense. And sometimes just working a wee bit on those muscles can relieve not just the stress in the face, but around the neck area and stuff like that as well.
Where do you think is the hardest muscle to work on?
So the hardest is actually, it's a muscle at the back here that attaches from the shoulder blade up to the neck.
Right.
And this is the one that people would probably refer to as, I've got these knots in my shoulder.
Right.
So it's not actually knots. What that is the tendon of this muscle called levator scapula.
Okay.
And because there's so much tension in the muscle, the actual tendon of the muscle is really, really tight. So when you go over that, it almost feels like you're kind of flicking over a big lump or something there. And the more tension there is, the bigger that lump is going to be.
So do you use the same technique with your thumb, or do you go in with your elbow?
So I would
or
use
your
something
hand?
called positional release for levator scap. So I can show you how to do that from this angle. So if you kind of feel in around that area, and so some people you might need to palpate quite deep, and other folk will be so tense that you just need a wee bit of pressure and you can really feel it. Okay, is there anything in there that feels, and the feeling can almost feel like it's bruised, the area is bruised? Anything in there that's feeling a bit tender, or are you sleeping?
I'm trying to think about that, man.
I think Naveed's going to sleep.
Well, he's near enough there, so obviously it looks like
Nothing
he's
that
getting
side.
plenty of
Okay,
de-stress
so we'll
going
go
on.
into this other side here and see what's going on there.
Okay.
So that's what you're working on just now. You're working down on his lat tendon at the back.
So what I would do is just go in. So this is levator scapula, sorry.
Right. I believe we've got someone on the line who has a question. Hello, caller. Wa alaikum salam. What's your name, brother? Usman, brother. As I take it you've been listening on in our show with regards to stress. Do you have a question from myself or James, or who's it for? Okay, that's a very good question. Stress and anxiety, are they similar things, or is there a difference between them?
Yeah, I would say stress is more, so stress is something that should only be short term. As I say, it's more a kind of natural phenomenon to get a little bit stressed. stressed, and it could be a good thing. Whereas anxiety is something that's a wee bit deeper, and it tends to be either caused by more a kind of long-term stress issue, and it's more, I'd say it's more emotional stress rather than like physical stress. So anxiety, it probably needs a little bit more than just, you know, your massage work or going for a walk, because that's something it's a wee bit deeper. So it might be that you need some kind of maybe psychotherapist.
Yeah,
or,
but
you know,
is it more mentally something?
yeah, so it's really just about, again, it could come from something like the lack of sleep, where things, you become more anxious because you're not getting enough sleep, and then you're not able to kind of put things in perspective. You kind of see things as, you know, a bigger deal sometimes than what they actually are.
So Usman, do you believe that you're stressed or you have anxiety? Or do you have anything at all? I believe you got a young one in the car as well. I hope they're not stressing you out. Well, Jazakallah for calling, and I hope we helped you in your question. So thanks for calling. As we said before, we had James doing some facial techniques on Nav on the table. Nav, are you still with us? Oh, hello, Nav? Someone slap him and get him up. Nav, are you with us now?
Yeah, I'm here.
I take it that was a very de-stressing, relaxing.
It was quite nice, it was too short.
Are you charging them for this?
Yeah.
Charging Ramadan.
So that excellent. So as I said before, we have videoed this. So even I know a lot of parents get stressed, obviously with families and stuff, and with kids and work and everything. So if they want to know about how to get themselves de-stressed, and they can have a look on Facebook and go to our Boots and Beards page, and the video will be there. Will it also be on Radio Ramadan website? Yeah, it'll probably be on that as well.
Can I, James, the videos on you, is there anything that you can do yourself you can do to kind of de-stress yourself?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different techniques that you can use. But what I would say is, if you're going to do it yourself, it is really getting yourself into a kind of a darker room. Just lie down on your back, because usually when you're on your back, you're in a much more relaxed position. And it's just getting your head in a nice, comfortable place, and it's almost like doing a bit of kind of meditation type stuff. There's certain points that you can press. These kind of points, acupressure points, it's kind of in between the thumb and the finger there.
Okay.
So you can do that, and that works quite well because it releases endorphins from the brain. Ideally, you would be pressing both sides at the same time to get the biggest, strongest effect. But if you kind of do one side, now when you press in there, you should feel.
So that's on your hand you're doing that,
Yeah.
between your thumb and your first finger.
It's probably going to feel a bit different for me because I'm using my thumbs all the time doing massage work and stuff. So for me that can be quite painful in there. But for others, if you press in there, there'll be a bit where it almost feels like something's radiating out, and that's the point that you want to press.
So is that a circular technique, or you just press?
No,
on
you're
it?
just holding that pressure on there for a wee bit,
Alright, excellent.
and then do the same on the other side, and that's the two kind of strongest acupressure points in the body, so either side there.
In the whole body, that's
In the whole body, yeah.
Alright, good.
So it's traditionally used as like a painkiller almost.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So like it's used like acupuncture and stuff like that as well. That's a point that's used to release those endorphins and can act like a painkiller too.
So, when I was going on holiday to Singapore, and on the flight itself, they had actually techniques on how to make yourself be more relaxed as well, which I thought was excellent. I've never seen it before. And one of them I seen was, as you were doing before, was putting pressure on just above your eyebrows and just pinching them along at the top. And it is actually very, very soothing. As Naveen found out, sort of thing. But just what you mentioned before, you said something about meditation. Meditation, is that quite powerful if people learned how to do proper meditation techniques?
Yeah, because again, and especially things like anxiety and stuff like that as well, because it's basically you almost bring yourself back to the moment that you're in,
right? And
you're focusing on that rather than allowing your mind to keep going either back in the past or getting stressed about something in the future. You're almost taking yourself back to, I'm actually just here in a room, relaxed. There's nothing to stress me. There's nothing to fear, and that can help quite a bit. So it's whether you can do it properly in the first place. That's the.
Well, I've read. Funny, I have read that they actually recommend. I think kind of leading entrepreneurs would recommend that you basically switch off every day. Take between 10 to 20 minutes and you just switch off. Don't you sit in a dark room, either kneel on the floor or whatever, and just basically just relax and don't think about anything else, and that's it. And that's supposed to kind of help charge the batteries up a little bit, just clear your mind, and that's it.
So, I mean, if you think almost of the mind as like a computer, and that where you've got the computer screen open and you've got all sorts of things going on, and then it just freezes completely. And you can't get anything done. It's quite frustrating. And for some reason, the brain is quite similar like that. Where you've got so much stuff going on, you actually get nothing done because there's too many things going on in the brain and actually just having that almost reset button. You switch it off, reset, then you're back to.
That helps.
Yeah.
So with like. When I think about meditation, I think about Buddhist monks and stuff. They use a lot of these things, and I believe they can go for the hours just meditating, just clearing their mind. I have tried it in the past, and I virtually get into maybe about 2 minutes, and then I'm start thinking about work and this and that. So it is hard, but I take it the more you do it, the much better you'll be at it.
Yeah, and that's it's like it's almost like training a muscle. You're basically training the brain to allow you to be in that state. So it sounds quite simple to kind of switch off everything, but actually it's one of the hardest things that you can do. So the more you train yourself, so you start off with maybe a minute to 2 minutes. If you do it on a regular basis, you might even get up to 5 minutes. I'm not saying you'll need to be up to the 2 hours like the Buddhist monk, but if you can do that for that 10-15 minutes a day. And even if that was 3-5 minute sessions, that still adds up to the 15 minutes, and you're getting a wee bit of kind of downtime for the brain, if you like.
James, there'll be people out there like myself who'll be like, I don't want to do it myself. I want someone like yourself to come in, and I don't know if you offer such services, but if you can elaborate on how people can possibly reach you or what you offer. Yeah,
sure. I mean, me myself, I would do massage techniques. So we're based up in Bearsden. We're going to have a second place up in Kirkintilloch as well if anybody wants to come along. We've got a website, www.benefittherapies.com. So folk can either book through the website or they can contact me. My number is 07552 854 511. We also offer, we've got a psychotherapist that's working with us as well, so if there's anybody who's got a kind of real serious anxiety or stress issue, they could contact Bettina, and that's coming through the website as well.
And I believe you've got some of your colleagues are female, and they basically can attend to just females as well, alone, they come to the house and stuff like that as well.
So we've got Kira and Leslie as well, so if anybody wants to book in, they can go through the website or contact me and I'll put them in touch.
Okay. Well, to just come back to the whole meditation I don't know, last night we were talking about meditation, talking about prayers,
Yeah.
and how the last topic was about social media obsession and how we switch off from it. And the guy who basically, the guest that we had on, we talked about switching your mobile off and leaving it in the car before you go into the mosque. So hopefully people have done that last night. So okay, but I think
and actually that's perfect. Like, you know, if you're going in for prayer, to me prayer is a kind of form of meditation. It's, you know, it's your time to switch off the world and just be at one.
Well, James, I'd like to thank you for coming in. So from all our team here at the Muslim Live Show, thank you for everyone listening. We have been talking about stress. As I said before, the video on our stress techniques will be online on Books and Beards, and also probably on the Radio Ramadan website as well, on their Facebook page. But as again, thank you for listening, and as always, good night.